What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 5 of SIDE Chat. Can you believe it? It's been 5 episodes. We had an amazing episode with Andrew Cameron last week, which was really dope. And this is Andrew.
How to Wayne Gretzky's like go to where the puck is going, right?
This week we have an amazing founder who actually created a startup, the Shopify for manufacturing. So without further ado, I would like to invite Raman. Come on in, Raman. What's up, my man? How you doing,
how's it going?
You good? You good?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm looking at the ice.
All right. Hey, Jake told us to give you a little special something.
Wow.
Oh, hey guys. How are you guys doing? I'm just warming up the tub for our next guest. So I'm not going to tell you, but we'll find out.
Regretting it already.
First time doing an ice bath?
Done it before, but not with so much ice.
All right, let's find out. All right, let's get in. Come on in. So we're going to sit on the side first. All right, perfect.
Oh, hot.
Thank you for coming to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
I am so honored to have you. Well, I don't want to... You tell me. Tell me your startup. Tell me what you're working on and tell us a bit about yourself.
So I'm Sudharshan Raman. Also Raman, the co-founder and head of product, I think, of Phasio. But, we're early stage, so, everything works at this point. A bit about us. We come from manufacturing and software background. So me and my co-founder have come from the idea that manufacturing needs software to go to the next level, right? And more often than not, people use 30, 40-year-old legacy systems to run their shop. We come in and we empower manufacturers to do what they want to do best, which is bring the next generation of product to market.
Okay.
So it means that they focus on their customers, their relationships, producing parts, as well as distributing knowledge between them and the community. What they shouldn't spend time on is invoicing, payments, requests for quotes.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's what we automate.
Oh, nice.
We help take care of all of that so that they can focus on the 3 virtues which help them run their business.
Wow, okay, all right. That's awesome, man. Okay, so basically what you're doing is, like we said, you're the Shopify for manufacturers, right? Shopify took the problem away from consumers to goods. You're taking away the problem between manufacturers and consumers.
Exactly, and their customers. So initially, if you had to upload like a 2D, 3D file, manufacturer would take like 24 to 36 hours to get back to you. You put like 10 different tender offers and see which one works best for you. And more often than not, at least 80% of the case, if you were the first person to respond to a quote or an RFQ, you are the one to get the deal. By automating the whole process where we do the analysis, where we do the pricing, where we do the shipping, as well as the production timelines, we empower our manufacturers to win more deals by sheer virtue of software.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for that, Raman. Hey guys, his startup, go check it out. Could you repeat the name again of your startup?
Phasio.
Phasio, how do you spell that?
Phasio.
Phasio. Is that a couple of words put together?
Well, I'm a metallurgist by training, right? So I used to research alloys before I started a startup. So I was a researcher, worked in national labs in Singapore, Sweden, Australia, building alloys for aerospace and maritime application.
Okay.
And phase is a phase diagram used by metallurgists like us nerds to figure out where and what components create different properties for materials, like stainless steel. How stainless steel is formed by adding, some chromium, some carbon. And so the whole thing is depicted as a thermodynamic diagram or phase diagram. And Phasio was a pun on that.
That's pretty cool. All right, that's awesome. All right, well, we are going to go to our first question. A very interesting quote that I read. If you can be in a bad mood for no reason, which means you can be in a good mood for no reason, how does emotions affect a startup's journey from your aspect?
I think that's a very good question. So we are early stage. We're seed, growing a bit and trying to, scale up in the next 12 to 18 months. But one thing I realized talking to people 2 years down the line, 10 years down the line, that the journey sucks. Like,
100%.
so there's no sugarcoating it, right? The highs are very high and the lows are very low. And the moment you start attributing your own emotions to the highs and lows, you sort of go into this like loop where you can't function when things are actually low. Because the bottom line is, like this ice bath, you got to embrace the suck.
Yes, sir.
And so for us, at least what I learned is understanding that it's always going to be hard. And if it wasn't hard, everyone would do it.
Exactly. 100%.
And so you just got to like power through, right? That doesn't mean you bottle up your emotions. You just don't bring it home. You just don't bring it to your partners and your well-wishers. You bring it to your community. You share the ups and downs with your people, the other founders who understand, thereby creating a support system which is good. At the same time, you're not burdening the people who love you but can't help you.
Exactly. 100%. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that, Raman. Now, we are gonna get a little bit cooler in this weather. Are you down? I mean,
I have no choice.
Let's do it, Raman. Oh my god.
Oh, spicy. It's hot.
Oh my.
Oy vey.
Oh,
Fuck you, Jake.
Jake. Thank you.
All right.
Great.
Been worse.
Great. So, the next question is, distraction kills more businesses than competition. In your aspect, what are 2 advices that you would give startups to get them to focus on their startup journey?
That's a very interesting one because we see that happening all the time around, right?
Yeah.
Since the internet started, where people wanted to build cool stuff.
Yeah.
The most shiniest thing. But people forget that you have to solve a problem. There has to be a business case. Your customers are the only important thing in this whole journey. You can have 10 competitors, 100 competitors, or only one. As long as you focus on your customers and provide a great solution or a 10x better solution and ensure that you're solving a problem, doesn't matter if you're going to become like a $10 million business, $100 million business, or an IPO worthy company, you are legitimately helping people. And I think that's the biggest thing. Don't get distracted by shiny things. Crypto comes, AI comes. If you're not passionate about it, don't do it. If you're smarter than me, which I think most people are, I think you can make it work. But I only find my strength by working on problems which I understand, by working in a space which I'm passionate about. I love manufacturing. I wanted to grow up to be a manufacturing engineer. That sounds stupid, but it was like, I love gears, motors, welding, piping, things like that, the physical world. But I also know the importance of good software. And so working in manufacturing and trying to solve problems is, I think, the key thing for us. So work on something you're passionate about, which you love, and which you always want to believe in, so that when things are actually low, you can power through it, right? During the hardest times of our startups, the only thing which kept me going was our customers, my co-founder, Harry, as well as my employees and my team, because they were all passionate and all loved the problem we're solving. And second, of course, is like solving a problem for a customer and seeing that how it changes their life using our platform and how we help them.
That's amazing, man. Thank you so much. So for a moment, I was just had expectations on your question. I was like, oh, is there going to be a routine involved? Or is there going to be a book involved? But it's so interesting that you actually said the root solution is the passion that you want to find, right? That is going to be the driving factor of building your startup. And I think that's dope. Thank you so much, man, for that. Our last founder actually left you a question. Andrew Cameron from Enzyme Consulting. So his question to you was, how do you value diversity in a social and environmental context?
That's a very interesting question in the sense that diversity has never been talked about it's always been talked about in a workplace. It's never been talked about in a social and environmental system, right? So, for example, I have always seen that in my household, my mom is a housewife, right? And she has always brought the concept of actually investing in growing wealth because she felt that while my dad was earning and trying to like save money, she felt like you can't grow a household without investing money. She helped me buy my first stock at like 7 years old, 7 years old or 8 years old, right? Sorry, when I was in 7th grade. The ice is getting to me.
Keeps you younger.
It keeps me younger. I'm 30 now. Oh, Jesus. So I think what I've always observed is having two different thought processes helps grow, right? So people always think a pie is finite and you have to cut it. But by having different people from different environments, you grow the pie. So the portion or the amount of what you can cut increases, even if the proportions are the same. Coming from an Asian household, which has always valued like the strong investment in education, but also in growing wealth and ensuring that your future generation is there, gave me the first glimpse of how having a different thought process, even though they are not from like the same environment, or they are like they are not from the same even gender or ethnic group, helps you think different and be different, right? And in the end, we are not building the world for ourselves. We are building our world for everyone.
True.
And there are 8 billion people and 192 different countries. So having that diversity will help us think better.
Wow. Thank you so much. That is very, very interesting. So, Raman, I wish I can get you out sooner, but Andrew left you a second part to that question. This one's for you, Andrew. So his question to you was, what are the traits that can help you overcome the barriers of growth?
Where do I start? I think there are two. So I don't say this often because I don't get a chance to. But a lot of the people I look up to, especially when it comes like risk taking, betting on themselves, are my parents. For some context, we were back when I was like in early 2000s. My dad was a very lower middle class family. Not too. We were not poor, but we were never like like that well off, like vacations. We've never seen that. So and always the second-hand cars. Like very quaint Indian household. Nice. But there were times where that man took risks with his wife, which I have never seen. Like he had an opportunity to go to Africa for a couple of years, and this was early 2000s, and he knew no one there, and he just did it.
Africa in early 2000s.
In early 2000s in Malawi, and I have seen him slog 14-hour days without complaining once. I have complained about long days. He's never complained. Not to his wife, not to his kids, not once has he told that this is hard, because to him it's his duty that he has to perform. So a lot of times what I realized was that the ability to take risk and not back down, even though you don't know what the outcome is very key to being successful in anything, whether a father, whether a husband, whether a partner. And that's basically what drives me. And I hope that I'm even 10% of what my parents are. Seeing their dedication, their ability to execute, and also upholding their own morals and ethics, even when things are hard. I think that's key. And I think that's what's helped me be who I am. And will be what drives me moving forward.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Thank you so much for that. I think your parents are very, very blessed to have you, and I think you're also very blessed to have your parents.
Always.
Awesome. Well, that being said, we come to the end of our show where Raman is going to leave a question for the next founder. And Andrew, as you said, we do have a rose among the thorns on our next episode. I won't tell who, but Raman, please leave your question to the next founder.
How did you get your first 10 customers?
Oh! Next founder, how do you get your first 10 customers? With that being said, thank you so much, Raman, for coming on the show. It's been amazing.
For having me.
No, you're most welcome. We're happy to have you chill in the ice for us. Stay tuned, guys, till our next episode comes out. Have a good one.
Very hot. Highly recommended.
Done. Oh boy.